Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Jaret Lansford here. Hope your day's off to a good start. We've got a beautiful day up ahead for us today. Hopefully, you get a chance to step out, enjoy the sunshine, the warmth. Things are going to change on us over the next couple days, and we've had to update things accordingly with how things have trended over the last 24 hours. Thursday, tomorrow, is now a First Alert 6 weather day with impacts from rain, changing to snow, impacting travel in the evening. And we're going to talk about how that plays out, change to that snow taking place during the evening drive, and then also some gusts for that time frame as well. Friday, no longer a First Alert 6 weather day with impacts looking like they end up south of our area with that system. So we'll walk through the details, why we've made those decisions, and what to expect as we are going through that time frame here through this live stream. Let's start off with Thursday, and looking like we see this system kind of taking a hold of the situation with impacts as we get rain moving in after 10 a.m., continuing for most of the day. It's going to result in a soggy evening commute. Then after we get past about noon, we go from that 43-degree temperature that you see there and drop slowly, but drop through the afternoon. It's going to be a cold rain, eventually changing to snow as we get past 6 p.m., and along with that, we start to stir the winds up. Could get some gusts up around 30 miles per hour as that snow is falling, causing some visibility problems, in addition to having those slippery conditions with the rain on the roads at that point and the snow falling. So kind of a mess for our Thursday with those impacts looking a little more likely. Then there's Friday, which is no longer a First Alert day. This is the second system, which is now kind of getting pushed out as those winds pick up out of the north. That pushes this system further south, and the snow potential a little closer to the Kansas City and St. Joseph's area instead of near us. Any light snow that we would try to put to the ground in our area looking like it would not be all that impactful at this point. So that's the reason why those decisions were made. We'll talk a little more in detail about those days here in just a second. A lot of sunshine for right now. Looking really nice out there. 39 our current temperature. We're just going to continue to warm up pretty steadily, just like we did yesterday. And we're going to even end up warmer than yesterday. Notice that dew point that is in the 20s. That's some pretty dry air. That should warm up effectively. We'll have a south wind through the day that will help to boost us. And I think by the time we're all said and done, we're ending up into the 60s for our highs. Very warm for this time of year. Here's what that looks like. You can see that sunshine just remaining in place all day long. It's going to feel fantastic out there. And if you're curious, yes, the 63 degrees puts us at least in the conversation of a record high. I don't think we're quite going to get there. We'd have to get to 65. That a fairly recent record of from 2003, but probably not getting there, but the fact that we're even talking about being close means it's going to be a really pleasant afternoon that you want to get outside and enjoy, especially because things change for us tomorrow. And let me show you what that looks like. We get rain after 10 a.m. We change over to snow at 6 p.m., after 6 p.m., and there you can see how that temperature changes as that rain really picks up. We'll peak right in the middle of the day and then just slowly drop off as we head into the evening. So this will be a cold rain that we have throughout our Thursday. There it is, starting to push in Thursday morning, and that will continue to kind of envelop the area as we make our way through the morning hours. By about 10 a.m., we should be seeing that starting to come down in the metro. The further north or west you are, the less moisture you'll have from this, but you can see how this is kind of moved further north and gotten a little stronger over the last 24 hours for us. So by the time we're at noon, we're still seeing rain falling. We're looking at that cold rain still in place into the afternoon. Evening commute going to be soggy with that rain coming down. By the time it's all said and done, we're right around half an inch in the metro. Could be a little closer to an inch off to the south and east as far as rain is concerned. Then over the next couple of hours, you can see that changeover starting to take place. I think it could even happen a little sooner than this, perhaps as early as 6, and it's just a matter of how much of that moisture is still left by the time we are changing over to the snow. That snowfall rate when that's happening will impact just how much we end up seeing in the metro out of this. This will be a relatively short window where we're seeing snow. By the time we're getting to midnight, you can see we're starting to wrap things up, move this system off to the east. So in that several hour period, we're talking about 1 to 3 inches being possible. This would be a slushy, heavy accumulation with what ends up on the ground. So that is something that would not be fun driving around in during our nighttime period for Thursday. Maybe a chance that we have some impacts by Friday morning. Hopefully having the warm temperatures today would help to assist in getting rid of that a little bit quicker on Friday, but certainly going to affect travel for Thursday night. And you're looking at a lot of the area with 1 to 3 inches, a little bit less snow off to the south and east where it stays a little bit warmer. You're looking at up to an inch if you're in places like Rockport, Shenandoah, and the Falls City area. So that's what things look like with this snow. We also will be picking up the wind gusts in this time frame. And you can see how that happens in the evening with some of those gusts up around 30 miles per hour out of the north. That's as the switch to snow is happening, so that will reduce visibility too as that snow is falling. That's another thing to be concerned about if you're traveling during the evening. So that's our Thursday system. Now let's talk about Friday. And you notice that wind was out of the north. That's going to work to try to push the system on Friday further to the south. So we start off pretty quiet for our Friday. You can even back this up a little bit, and you can see that we may even get some peaks of sunshine early on Friday, gradually increasing the cloud cover as the day goes on Friday. And notice what's different about this from what we were seeing about 24 hours ago. This system has really pulled south. And a lot of times on the very north edge of these systems, dry air will eat away at any snow that tries to get to the ground. This is why we really think the impacts are going to be lessened for what we see on Friday in the evening and overnight. So most of the snow down here into the St. Joe, Kansas City area, and this model even tries to do a little bit of mixing with that down that direction. What you're seeing here, very light. That may not even make it to the ground as we're going through Friday night. So still going to hold on to a chance for at least some snow showers, but really don't think this is going to be much of an impact for what we end up seeing Friday night. So that's the reason why we ended up canceling that First Alert 6 weather day. Do keep an eye out if you have plans around midday on Saturday. We are pulling in some snow showers that could maybe reduce visibility for a little bit as that's happening. We will have some wind around on Saturday. So that's something to keep in mind during those midday hours as well. So here's the full picture of the next 3 days. Let me get rid of a couple of things on the screen so you can see that fully. Near record highs today, lots of sunshine, beautiful day. We do a 180 for tomorrow, have cold rain falling. We'll peak with our temps in the middle of the day and then slowly slide for the rest of the day. We'll end up with a change over to some snow by the time we get past 6 p.m., and that's as the wind is picking up as well. So evening drive, even if you beat the snow for your evening drive, you're talking wet roads, soggy conditions, so that will impact the commute on its own. And then as you get past 6 p.m., we get that period where we start to try to change over to some snow. So this is why Thursday is now the First Alert 6 weather day. Still a chance for some snow showers late Friday, but that's really starting to trend south and end up lighter. So not as much concerned with that. We'll be still pretty chilly over the weekend with 30s for temperatures, but for reference, our average high through the weekend is 33 degrees. So our, quote, cold weather is near average. That's how warm we've been. This will definitely feel cold, and don't mistake that. Especially Saturday, we'll have some gusts up around 25, 30 miles per hour. So with that 32, that will feel chilly. It's just that it's way colder than what we've had the last few days is what really makes that the difference. And I also want to emphasize that this is not going to last long. Let me show you how this goes. So there's our big ridge giving us the warmth that's in place today. That breaks down as our system comes through Thursday, and then we get that secondary one on Friday that looks like it really pulls south. But it still brings in that cold, and you can see Saturday will definitely feel cold for us. By the time we get past the weekend, though, we're already seeing that shift east, and we're moving into 40s for highs. So that will be feeling a little more mild, even approaching 50 by the time we're starting next week. May get grazed by another one here as we get into Wednesday. I think most of that impact ends up to our east, but that'll be something to watch. And then we get another system at the end of next week into next weekend. Once again, we're keeping this weekend cycle going. This one may try to cool us down more beyond next weekend. So that'll be another one that we'll be tracking. Let me show you the 10 days so you have the full picture of everything that's going on. So, as I mentioned, sunshine today, very warm for this time of year, the kind of weather you want to get outside for. Tomorrow, cold rain starts after 10 a.m., keeps going through the afternoon and into the evening. Temperatures peak in the middle of the day. We'll see those temps get cold enough by the evening that once we get past about 6 p.m., we'll be changing over to some snow, and that continues through about midnight. Impacts to the evening commute regardless because the roads will be wet. We'll still have at least rain falling before that change to some snow. And then Friday trending dry. We're going to be looking at cloud cover increasing through the day. Chance that we maybe get some flakes to fly as we get late in the evening. But again, I really don't think that's going to be all that heavy or impactful for us. More closer to the Kansas City area. And then don't sleep on Saturday with some of those midday snow showers and the breeze. That could be briefly impactful in the middle of the day. So watch for that. Colder too, 32 degrees and breezy. We'll recover by the time we get to Monday. We're up near 50 degrees. We'll have highs in the 40s most of next week. And then again, we'll watch by the time we get to the end of the 10-day, maybe another system that tries to bring some more moisture into the area and maybe longer term tries to knock our temperatures down a little bit more to more January levels for the back half of the month. That'll be something we'll be tracking as well. I think with that, we'll wrap up this live stream. Hopefully you feel pretty confident now about where the forecast is going. You can always use the First Alert 6 weather app to track those hourly details. We always have updated videos on there with the forecast, and you can take advantage of that as you go about your day. And then coming up here at the top of the hour on First Alert 6, Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord will have the latest update on where things stand and where things are headed. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Soak up that sunshine, get outside, get that fresh air, and enjoy the warmth. And then be ready for things to get busier for us over the coming 36 hours or so.